All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. More Birthright here for you. So today we are moving along in our series on the Bloodline abilities, and we're moving to Shadowform, which is a really powerful ability here. So it only exists in Great Form, and only those that have Brenna and Azrai's derivation can actually have this. So a Scion with this power, as we jump in here, a Scion with this power can change themselves and anything they carry into a living shadow once per day for 1 turn plus 1 round per level. So in this form, you appear exactly as a shadow. You're two-dimensional and invisible when you're able to lurk in shadows. You can climb or cross any surface, including vertical and horizontal surfaces, bodies of water, sides of buildings, and even a field of spiked stones without hindrance as easily as a shadow falls across a floor. Character in shadow form cannot affect their environment, though. So, for example, you can't make attacks, cast spells, pick up objects, open doors, pick locks, etc. Shadow form does not change your size or shape, or even give you the ability to fly, however. And while in this form, the Scion can be struck only by magical weapons, so it's a nice little bit of extra protection there. However, the last little bit here is also relevant. Undead ignore the character, assuming them to be one of their own. So if you have this ability and you happen to be encountering some undead, not necessarily the biggest or most common type of threat here in the Birthright setting, but again, any interaction certainly with the Shadow World and things like that, or even just actually being in the Shadow World, you're definitely going to encounter some undead. So, and just depending also on what domains you might be near, that could also increase the potential likelihood of encountering the undead. But that's just not just a throwaway little thing there at the end. So being able to just be ignored by undead certainly could get the party past some sticky situations, or at least allow your character to potentially sneak past and maybe in some way help the party advance, or just otherwise deal with adversaries, or just, again, come up with some sort of clever solution if undead are menacing a certain area. So really nice, subtle ability, but again, you're going to have either Brenna's derivation or Azrai. And again, if you're having Azrai's blood, that's going to potentially cause some other issues for you. And could be some fun and creative ways that the DM can try and work that into campaigns. Again, sort of any overuse maybe on your blood abilities. If you have Azrai's blood, certainly should have some questionable potential lingering and ongoing effects there against your character. But again, neat to be able to sort of have that, and depending on the class combination too, that always can create for some interesting situations too. But obviously could be pretty damn useful for a rogue. I think that kind of sells itself on that one. But again, other classes could be interesting to see how they incorporate that. And as always, again, NPCs that you encounter that have blood, a bloodline ability, could have this ability too. So just other neat ways of throwing things at the party as far as the DMs go that, again, players might not expect based on whatever they're encountering, and maybe not expecting, again, whatever they're facing to have an ability like that. So this could be a fun one to also mess with the party in a way that an NPC could, again, either escape from the party or otherwise move into a position where the party could be vulnerable, or just many other ways of working that. So lots of fun stuff with this ability. So drop us a comment, guys, or just on your general thoughts on Shadowform and how that's worked in your games. If you've had that ability, did it become overpowered in any way, shape, or form? How did the DM work it in? And if you were a DM, how have you use this ability as far as maybe NPCs, or, again, dealing with characters who have access to that? So hit us up in the comments there, guys. Like, subscribe. We got 3 more abilities that we'll be looking at for the Bloodline ability series, and then we'll be wrapping that up and moving on to some other things very soon. So stay tuned, and thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.